Okay, once again, welcome. So let's dig in and let's talk about Mote. And today I'll be helping you to get started if you'd like to, and also talking about some of the different platforms, I guess, that you can use Mote in. So what is Mote? Mote is a Chrome web browser extension. So you do have to go into the App Store in your Google Chrome web browser. And it allows you to record voice feedback for your students in a bunch of different Google applications. I used to think it was only used in Google Classroom, which was fine, like that's where I used it anyways, but I recently discovered that you can use Mote in Google Docs and Google Slides, and they're even releasing new features every day. They just added it to Gmail, like Brenda was saying, but I don't remember leaving you that one. That's so funny. I'll have to keep practicing in Gmail. I have not perfected that one. It's brand new. And they're adding new things every day. So who knows what else they have in the works. So I know we all understand the importance of feedback, but just a little reminder too from our friend John Hattie, who's done a lot of research on successful teaching practices. And he just says the simplest prescription for improving education must be dollops of feedback. I think of a pie like the whipped cream, dollops. So written feedback is great. But it does take time, and also depending on the age of our students, it might be difficult for them to digest or for us to get our point across. So I found that voice feedback is a great way to give all students access to the things that we want to pass on to them. It's also fun and quick. I think it's faster than typing. Well, Mote says that it's 30% faster than typing, but I have not timed it to find out for sure. So Mote is one way to give feedback. Also, you can change things up, right? Like sometimes you do your written feedback, sometimes you can do your voice feedback. So how does it work? You use the Mote extension in many Google products like Classroom, Docs, and Slides. And there is a free version. That's the version I use. I don't pay money for it. But they also do have like a premium version. So in the free version, you can record notes up to 30 seconds per message. But hey, if you need more time, you just record a second Mote or even a third Mote. So it's fine. You have unlimited 30-second messages. So I have not found the need to pay for an account. But I would say if you were going to use it to record things for teaching, like you wanted to record a 3-minute lesson and put it into a slide, then you might want to think about upgrading to the paid account. But yeah, for me, I haven't found it to be necessary. But as we go through and we explore Mote, I just want you to know that there's some features that they like to talk about that aren't available in the free one. And again, I've been getting along just fine without them. But if you see something that sounds really interesting, then just know that there is the option to pay for an account too. So let's get started. So with that, I was going to exit out of the slide deck. We'll come back to this screen in a moment. So let's get started and let's go to the Mote website. And I will put this in the chat as well so that you can check it out. And it's just mote.me. Okay, I'm putting it in the chat so that you can explore. So when you come to their website, of course, they like to tell you about their product and what it can do. There's a little like 1.5-minute video with someone demonstrating themselves using it. The reason I didn't want to play the video is half of it is stuff that you don't have access to in the free version. So I was like, eh. But here's what Mote says about themselves. It's fast, voice comment up to 3 times faster than typing, right? It's friendly. So you know how things can be lost in textlation? When we write things, gosh, I find it hard to be encouraging and friendly when I'm trying to give like writing feedback in written form. Because sometimes I'm like, gosh, did that sound too harsh? Or vice versa, did that sound too nice? Like I'm really trying to get this message across and it's difficult in writing. So having the flexibility to use your voice can help you make that connection with your student as well. And then as mentioned, the free version, cross your fingers that it remains that way, has suited my needs just fine. There are premium features available. Then there's some what's that called when people say their experiences. And then here's where you would find details if you wanted to pay for a subscription. Okay, so then going back up to the top, there's a little button here on the website that says add to Chrome. So I gave you the link so that if you wanted to add this extension to Chrome, you could do so right now. And let me show you what that will look like. You'll click add to Chrome. Did everyone see that button, or did I go too fast? Let me know if I need to go back. Oops, sorry. Okay, so I clicked on add to Chrome. And now I already have the extension, so it says remove from Chrome, right? But when you open it, if you don't yet have the extension, it's going to give you the option to add it to Chrome. So go ahead and do that. And just make sure you're logged in with your sbusd.net account. Like if you're on a personal computer right now, just know that it's going to attach itself to the account you're logged into. Okay, so if you want it to work in your Google products, you have to use your sbusd.net account. And then along the bottom, again, it's showing like some little slides with what the Mote experience is all about. Okay, so let me know once you've done that, and then I'll talk about some of the features once you've added it to your Chrome extensions. Anyone running into any difficulties, or is it going pretty smoothly? This is the part where it could get tricky, right? I'm glad it's going well. Okay, once you have added the extension, you will see the very the famous purple circle with the white M in the middle, and it should show up here in your extensions bar. There's mine right up here to the right. If you click on it, as I mentioned, they're adding Mote into new apps. I just keep saying no, not yet, because I'm not ready for anything new. So I just say no, not yet. But here's what it will look like when you open up your settings in the extension. So again, I just went up to the Mote extension at the top now that it's loaded on my computer. And I clicked on it and it opens up my little menu here for my settings. So it'll confirm that you've got your sbusd.net account attached to it. Once you start making motes, you'll be able to see them listed here, and you could click on them. You can listen to them again. You could see if a child has listened to them. Here's your account details. They always want you to upgrade. Actually, they're not that pushy, I promise. But the option's always there, right? And then my account page, 1,068 motes since 21 August. So it'll sort of tell you like a running, and I'm actually surprised it's that many. It doesn't feel like I've done that many.
Angela.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. For me, it took me to like log in, and then it told me to continue, like sign in with Google. So I don't have that little icon on top.
Once you sign in with Google, it should be added to your web browser bar. Have you already gone through that process?
Yeah, I did, but it's not, and then it shows me being logged in, but it doesn't show that the icon, that little thing up there.
Yeah, I'll tell you another thing that sometimes happens is there's not enough room up here for everything. So you might have to click on
have her pin it.
The little puzzle piece. Yeah, there's a little like gray puzzle piece. And if you click on it, it will show you all of your extensions. And then like Brenda was saying, you can click it so the pin turns blue, and then it will show up in your extension bar.
It's there now. Thank you so much.
No, thank you for mentioning that, because people might have also been wondering like, where did it go? That just means you have a lot of extensions. Nice. Okay, so again, I was just clicking on the extension and just showing you a little bit of the access you have here when you click on the extension. I think really, I don't access this very much, but I just wanted you to know it was there. So here's where the beauty and the magic starts to happen, is when you actually use Mote. So let me go, okay, that's what I want to end with. So let's say you want to use Mote. Let's start out in Google Classroom, because that's sort of where I started out using Mote. And let's just say that's where you want to start playing around with it. So you can see where you're able to use Mote anywhere that you see the little purple Mote extension symbol pop up. So if you want to give it a try, and if you've already successfully launched that extension in Google Chrome, go ahead and open up your Google Classroom and click on the stream and just see if you have the little purple click to record button now where the comments section is. Just see if you have it. And this is just exploration time here. Okay. And then now I'm going to record a short comment so that you can see what happens when you record. Let's see if it works. I've never done it while I'm on Zoom before. So let's see. Hello, this is a test Mote. You get 30 seconds per message. You can click done when you're finished, and you can also click cancel if you made a mistake. Okay, I clicked done. Now it shows up in the comment bar here as a little website because that's what students will see. Oh, one more thing. Students do not need an account, nor should they have one really, because I don't think it's whitelisted for students to have an account. But that's another thing that makes it really great is students do not have to log in to Mote to hear your message. So now let's say I'm happy with my voice note. All I have to do is click post. There's this little pencil thing here, but again, that is for the premium account. The premium account gives you a transcript and you can like mess with the transcript. I don't use the transcript and I've been doing fine, but again, I wanted you to know it was there. Also, and I promise I'm not a salesperson for Mote, but I just wanted to mention that if you're a dual language teacher, Mote Premium does allow you to translate your voice messages into Spanish too. Actually, I think it just translates the transcript, like the written part. So again, I don't know if that's worth it because you could always just type it, but I just wanted you to know. Okay, but the free one, no. So once I hit post, now to me, because I have the extension, it looks like this. It looks really pretty and it just has a purple triangle, and that's what I click on to hear the note.
What will the students see?
Great question. So the students see this, but it says the little website, just like we saw in the comment bar a moment ago. And when they click on the little website, it takes them to a landing page, a Mote landing page, where they press play and then the message plays for them. So what I recommend, and I know we'll come back here and we'll practice a little bit more, but I just wanted to give a couple of recommendations when rolling this out to students. Otherwise, you're going to make a bunch of messages and no one's going to listen to them. So this tool is only effective if students understand how to access the messages. So I recommend demonstrating how to check the messages. And one way you can do that is to have one of your trusty students, you know, somebody that doesn't mind sharing their screen, share their screen. You can leave them a Mote message, and then that student can show the other students how they access it in Google Classroom, how they click on it, what it looks like when they click on it, how they play it. Okay, so I really recommend training your students on how to access their messages. And the best way to do that is to show the student experience. And then if you want to know if you're being successful and if kids are listening, Mote will actually email you to your sbusd.net account, your Gmail account, each day with your Mote engagement. And it will tell you how many of your Mote messages were listened to. And that can sort of give you a ballpark too of if kids are listening to your messages. Okay, so that's just a little side note. It does take some training for the students to make sure that they're getting in and they're listening to the messages. So we talked about how you can leave a message in the stream, but there's a lot more places too, and maybe more useful. I do not usually use the stream to leave a message. Where you really get the most bang for your buck is like in your assignments, right? Okay, so let's say we've got an assignment. I'll go to their daily check-in because that's a fun place to leave them some voice comments, right? Because they let you know how their day is going. So here's their Wednesday check-in. I click on the assignment. I click on view assignment. This is the place I use this tool the most, is in personal comments. So you know how you open an assignment, you can see all of your students here. So let's say Elrich said something in his check-in and I just wanted to tell him, great job. Or leave him some personalized feedback. So if I click on his name, now notice this is the private comment area. So I can leave him a Mote that goes just to him. Okay, so that is another way that you can do it. Now let's say that I have graded, wait, should I stop right there? I don't want to go too fast. Has anyone used Mote yet in this capacity, in the private comments for students?
Yes, I tried it, but I got stuck with the kids being able to access it.
Yep, that's such an important part, huh? I know. And you'll have to remind them too.
Yeah, and I did so many, and it was so disappointing that
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
And I'll show you in just a minute too how to recommend that students go back in and listen to, because I know Google Classroom, they have to sort of hunt for the things that have been graded. So, okay, and then one other way you can, well, not one, there's more than one, but here's another way that you can use Mote that's really fun and time saving. Let's say you've graded 4 or 5 students writing. And these 5 students happen to have done everything well. So you can sort of leave them the same comment, right? So you can just select them with the little check marks here and click on return. Now look, when you say return, it pops up another area where you could leave a private comment. So guess what? I can record one message and it's going to go to all of these students. So I could say something like, "Hi, writer. I noticed that you really took into account how we needed to add evidence from the text, and you added that evidence not only with quotations, but you also paraphrased. Great job. Keep it up, writer." Done, right, send. So see how I did sort of generic, but still specific, but I easily can send it now to 5 kids at once. And I canceled it because this isn't even a writing assignment. So let me address quickly, how are we doing on time? I don't even know what time we're supposed to go to the next.
5 minutes, Angela.
Great,
It's 1 o'clock.
perfect. So let me address what it looks like for students when they come and look to find their activities and the voice notes. So basically, you're going to have to remind them to come and look at their classwork and their grades to see their voice notes and to see their comments. So again, I would recommend having a student log in and share their screen and navigate to where they're going to find your voice notes. And I tend to, like I showed you, send them in the same area. So I'm always doing it in the private comments of their activities so that they know where to look too. Okay. So those are a couple of ways you can use voice notes in Google Classroom. But I mentioned too, you can use it in Google Docs and in Google Slides. And you can also do that here within your Google Classroom. So would you like to see an example of like Google Docs? We can go there. I'll just make a new doc and we'll play around with it. And you can follow along too if you haven't used it in Google Docs yet. You can make yourself a blank document. Okay, so you might use this if you're grading student writing, for example, and you want to go step by step within their writing. And so that might be too much to put into Google Classroom as a comment, right? So you want to actually leave comments in their writing. So test student writing. So let's pretend this is an essay that a student has written and you want to leave them some feedback. So what you can do, the same thing you would do to leave a written comment. You select the text you want to comment on, and then you can right click, or you can also go up here to the little comment box. Okay, so when you right click, it brings up this menu and you can click on comment. And then you'll notice that the Mote extension comes up right here. So this is another place that you can leave comments for your student, is within a Google Doc. So again, I just selected some text, I right clicked and I opened the comment box. And this can be really nice if you want to say something that's going to take you 500 years to type or maybe be kind of confusing. And remember, you can use more than one 30-second voice note. You can do multiple voice notes. There's no limit. So sometimes I'll say, okay, this is message 1 of 3. Yeah, so that's another place where you can use your voice notes. Any questions about Google Docs and Mote? Okay, I was going to show you also Google Slides. So sometimes we have our students use Google Slides for assignments. Also, sometimes it might be fun to use Mote to record yourself for a presentation that you're going to give the class, just keeping in mind that you only get those 30 seconds at a time, right? Okay. So same thing, you could select, I guess I have to type something, huh? And what's interesting is Mote does save as a website. So you could copy and paste the link too, just like you normally paste links. So here's one way you can do it in Google Slides. You can select some text and comment, and same thing. Now, I will be totally honest, I haven't used it in Slides a lot, so I have a feeling there's like a lot more ways that you can use it in Slides, and I look forward to exploring more of those, or maybe you have too. But that's one way, similar to Docs, is you could select some text and you could comment within Google Slides. And that's relatively new. And like I mentioned, they're also making it available in Gmail and some other products in the future. Okay. So then just that friendly reminder to train the kiddos, because you'll have more likelihood of them checking if you remind them. And I did train my students at the beginning of the year, but then I noticed halfway it was starting to fall off. So then I reminded them again to keep going back in and checking those voice comments. All right, well, that's all I had, but I am more than happy to answer questions, or if you had any other comments or ways that you've used Mote that you wanted to share.
Angela, could you just review again what a student would do when they are trying to access their Mote?
Sure, and there was a cute little video on part of the Mote website too. Let's see if we can go there. And it showed the student experience. So tell you what, there's this like 1-minute video. Just remember that some of these features are not on the free version, but in this video, he does show you a little bit of the student experience. So I think I'll just show that so you can see.
Okay, perfect. Now I know where to look.
Great. And we already did that, check. Check, check. Some of them are not free. Okay, oh, I wasn't fast enough. Let me pause it 2 seconds prior to this. So here, I know it's a little blurry, but that's what the teacher sees, right? With a little purple arrow.
Yeah.
This one is what the student sees. Click to hear my voice note, and then it's a website. Okay, and it's the same thing you see before you hit post. So you'll see what the student's going to see right before you hit post. So it has a little web address, and I think, let's see further in the video, it might show the landing page. Let's see. Yep, there it is. Okay, so when the student when they click on that link, it takes them to a page that looks like this. And it has a little black arrow, and then they can click the arrow and it plays your voice note. And there's really nothing that they can do to interact here. I know they talk about the student can click a happy face, but I don't think that is in the free version, because I've never had a student click a happy face for me before. But okay, so this is the page that the student will see when they click on the link. So
Okay,
it does take them out of whatever it was they were in.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thanks for asking that. No, I know that's important to know the student experience. And if anyone wants to rewatch that video, it's on the landing page of the Mote website. And I will give you a link to this presentation, and any place you see the word Mote is a link to the website also. So let me make sure everyone can open it. Copy link. Okay. Any other questions?